Our next story is about Pakistan's jihad sanctuaries, safe havens that promote and push terror into India. They're back in the spotlight after a recent attack in Kashmir. And this was about 24 hours back. Kashmir was struck by terror once again. There was an attack on 2 army vehicles. It unfolded in the valley's Poonch district. Reports say the encounter started after terrorists fired on 2 army vehicles. They were passing through Poonch's Dera Ki Gali area. At least 4 soldiers were killed in action during this incident. 3 others were injured during a gunfight with the terrorists. That's not all. The terrorists also mutilated the bodies of at least 2 soldiers and took away their weapons. Last we checked, the Indian Army had launched a joint operation in the area. It was also conducting aerial monitoring of the area to track down the terrorists who ambushed the army vehicles. And besides this, additional troops have also been deployed in the area. Now remember, this is not a standalone incident. It comes on the back of a series of terror attacks in Kashmir in recent months. Just 2 days back on Wednesday, there was an explosion inside the compound of an armed police unit. This one also happened in the Poonch district. Before this, in November, 4 soldiers, including 2 captains, were killed in action in an encounter in Kashmir's Rajouri district. Involved in the attack were 2 terrorists, including a top Lashkar-e-Toiba commander trained in Afghanistan. And in September this year, 3 more brave hearts were killed in action: a colonel, a major, and a deputy superintendent of police. This happened in Kashmir's Anantnag district. They were leading troops from the front after they had gone to search for terrorists based on specific intelligence. So if we speak overall, according to one estimate, there were a total of 251 terrorist incidents in Jammu and Kashmir between 2021 and May 30th this year. Out of these, 15 attacks unfolded in 3 districts of the Jammu region. The remaining 236 attacks unfolded in the Kashmir Valley. What's common between all these attacks, you ask? Well, they were all carried out by terror groups linked to Pakistan. The likes of Jaish-e-Mohammed, People's Anti-Fascist Front, Lashkar-e-Toiba, the Resistance Front, and many, many more. This only proves that Pakistan just can't live at peace. No matter what crises it is in, no matter how cash-strapped it is, no matter how dysfunctional it gets, the country just cannot live at peace. I mean, the country is facing a concoction of misery, a series of overlapping crises, societal, political, economical, and constitutional. Yet, Pakistan remains relentless in the export of terrorism. It remains relentless in keeping the border unstable. It remains relentless in the pursuit of its Kashmir obsession, even if it comes at the expense of its own survival. After all, the country is home to a University of Jihad, a university meant to train radical jihadis. This is the place I'm talking about, the Darul Uloom Haqqaniya. It's a sprawling Islamic seminary located barely 35 miles from Peshawar, in the quaint town of Akora Khatak. The university essentially is a terror factory. It openly teaches Muslims about jihad and churns out dreaded terrorists. Many of them are now in the Taliban. They were sent to Afghanistan to wage the holy war. The remaining were inculcated into terror groups functioning along India's border. That's not all. The ISI is rated highly as a host for foreign terrorists. Their safe houses / guest houses can be found all over the country. Let me show you. We'll start with Akhtar Mansoor, once the supreme leader of the Taliban. In 2016, he was killed by a US drone strike. Where? Ahmadwal in Balochistan. Osama bin Laden, killed in a US operation in 2011. He was living in a private compound in Abbottabad. He was neighbors with the Pakistani army. Dawood Ibrahim, narco-terrorist and mastermind of the 1993 Mumbai blast. He's attending weddings and living the club life in Karachi. Masood Azhar, the co-founder of Jaish-e-Mohammed. He's reportedly living in a bomb shelter in Bahawalpur, and guarding him are Pakistan soldiers. Now, these were just some of the big names. Collectively, these men have killed thousands, maybe tens of thousands. They have bounties worth millions of dollars on their head. Simply put, they are the worst of humanity. And Pakistan likes collecting them, it seems. By the way, these are not Pakistani nationals, not all of them. Osama bin Laden was from Saudi Arabia. Akhtar Mansoor was an Afghan, and Dawood Ibrahim is from India. So how is it that every notorious terrorist finds space, rather haven, in Pakistan? Because in Islamabad, terror is state policy. The ISI cultivates terror leaders, gives them a new home, gives them protection. In return, they do Pakistan's dirty work. Whether it's attacking Indian cities or sabotaging Western operations, all of this is pretty common knowledge. Then why is the world silent? Now that's the million-dollar question that unfortunately no one has figured out an answer to yet. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.